Let's get started with a review of property ownership and land use controls. What is included in the bundle of rights associated with property ownership? Is it A, the right to tax the property, B, the right to exclude others from the property, C, the right to change zoning laws, or D, the right to inherit property? The answer is B, the right to exclude others from the property. The bundle of rights includes the right to possess, control, enjoy, exclude others, and dispose of the property. These rights are fundamental to property ownership. Which right allows a property owner to sell their property? Is it A, the right to dispose, B, the right to possess, C, the right to control, or D, the right to enjoy? The answer is A, the right to dispose. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The right to dispose of property is often confused with other rights like possession or control, but it specifically refers to selling or transferring ownership. Sarah owns a piece of land and decides to lease it to a farmer. What right is she exercising? Is it A, the right to exclude, B, the right to dispose, C, the right to control, or D, the right to enjoy? The answer is C, the right to control. Leasing the land involves the right to control, as Sarah is determining how the property is used by allowing another party to occupy it. Which of the following is not typically considered part of the bundle of rights? Is it A, the right to possess, B, the right to enjoy, C, the right to exclude, or D, the right to tax? The answer is D, the right to tax. The right to tax is a governmental power, not a right held by property owners. The bundle of rights includes possession, control, exclusion, enjoyment, and disposal. Tom wants to build a fence on his property to keep out trespassers. Which right is he utilizing? Is it A, the right to dispose, B, the right to exclude, C, the right to control, or D, the right to enjoy? The answer is B, the right to exclude. Building a fence to prevent trespassing exercises the right to exclude, which allows property owners to control who can enter their property.
How'd you do on the first 5 questions? Go ahead and subscribe to Birdsy now and turn your progress into exam day confidence. Ready to jump back in? Let's go.
Types of ownership and forms of holding title. What is the primary characteristic of joint tenancy in property ownership? Is it A, tenants can sell their share independently, B, it includes the right of survivorship, C, each tenant owns an unequal share, or D, it allows for separate wills for each tenant? The answer is B, it includes the right of survivorship. Joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship, meaning if one owner dies, their share automatically passes to the surviving owners. In a tenancy in common, what happens to an owner's share when they die? Is it A, it automatically goes to the surviving co-owners, B, it is absorbed by the state, C, it is distributed according to the deceased's will, or D, it becomes part of a community property? The answer is C, it is distributed according to the deceased's will. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Tenancy in common does not include the right of survivorship, so the deceased's share is passed according to their will or state law. Sarah and Tom own a property as tenants in common. Sarah wants to sell her share. What must she do? Is it A, sell her share independently, B, obtain Tom's permission to sell, C, convert the ownership to joint tenancy first, or D, wait for Tom to sell his share first? The answer is A, sell her share independently. Sarah can sell her share independently without Tom's consent, as tenancy in common allows each owner to manage their share separately. Which form of ownership allows a corporation to own property? Is it A, joint tenancy, B, tenancy in common, C, community property, or D, ownership in severalty? The answer is D, ownership in severalty. Corporations can own property in severalty, meaning the property is owned by a single entity, not shared with others. John and Lisa are married and own a home in California. They want to ensure that if one dies, the other automatically inherits the property. Which form of ownership should they choose? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, community property with right of survivorship, C, joint tenancy, or D, ownership in severalty? The answer is B, community property with right of survivorship. Community property with right of survivorship allows the surviving spouse to automatically inherit the property.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? The next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai. You'll get immediate help, complimentary study sessions, and access to hundreds of additional questions. It's the best tool to help you pass with confidence.
Land use controls, zoning, police power, and eminent domain. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws? Is it A, to increase property taxes, B, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development, C, to enforce building codes, or D, to manage public utilities? The answer is B, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development. Zoning laws are designed to regulate land use within a jurisdiction to ensure orderly development and to separate incompatible land uses. Which of the following is not a valid exercise of police power? Is it A, zoning regulations, B, building safety codes, C, taking private property without compensation, or D, health and safety regulations? The answer is C, taking private property without compensation. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, police power includes a wide range of regulations, but it does not extend to taking private property without compensation, which is eminent domain. A city plans to build a new highway and needs to acquire private land for the project. What legal principle allows the city to do this? Is it A, eminent domain, B, adverse possession, C, zoning variance, or D, police power? The answer is A, eminent domain. Eminent domain allows the government to take private property for public use, provided they offer just compensation to the property owner. What is a zoning variance? Is it A, a change in zoning classification, B, a temporary land use permit, C, an enforcement of zoning laws, or D, an exception to zoning ordinances? The answer is D, an exception to zoning ordinances. A zoning variance is an exception to the zoning ordinance, allowing the property owner to use the land in a way that is not typically permitted. Sarah wants to open a bakery in a residential zone. What might she need to legally operate her business there? Is it A, a building permit, B, a zoning variance, C, a deed restriction, or D, an easement? The answer is B, a zoning variance. Sarah would likely need a zoning variance or special use permit to operate a business in a residential area, as it typically requires an exception to existing zoning laws. Environmental restrictions and public controls. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws in real estate? Is it A, to increase property values, B, to regulate land use and development, C, to enforce building codes, or D, to manage environmental hazards? The answer is B, to to regulate land use and development. Zoning laws are designed to regulate land use and ensure that property development aligns with community planning goals, such as separating residential areas from industrial zones. Which of the following is not typically considered an environmental restriction on property use? Is it A, wetlands protection, B, endangered species habitat, C, easement for utilities, or D, floodplain management? The answer is C, easement for utilities. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term easement might be confused with environmental restrictions, but it primarily involves access rights, not environmental concerns. A developer plans to build a new housing complex in an area designated as a floodplain. What must they consider before proceeding? Is it A, only the cost of construction, B, the availability of utilities, C, the proximity to schools, or D, floodplain management regulations? The answer is D, floodplain management regulations. Developers must comply with floodplain management regulations to ensure safety and environmental protection, which may include building restrictions or additional permits. What is an easement in the context of property ownership? Is it A, a legal right to use another's land for a specific purpose, B, a restriction on building height, C, a tax imposed on property owners, or D, a permit for environmental impact? The answer is A, a legal right to use another's land for a specific purpose. An easement is a legal right to use another person's land for a specific purpose, such as access to utilities or pathways. Agency and fiduciary duties. What is the primary duty of an agent to their principal in an agency relationship? Is it A, to act in the best interest of the principal, B, to maximize their own profit, C, to act independently without consulting the principal, or D, to maintain confidentiality only when convenient? The answer is A, to act in the best interest of the principal. The primary duty of an agent is to act in the best interest of the principal, which includes loyalty, obedience, and full disclosure. In an agency relationship, which of the following is not a fiduciary duty owed by the agent to the principal? Is it A, loyalty, B, independence, C, disclosure, or D, care? The answer is B, independence. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term independence might be confused with loyalty or obedience, which are actual fiduciary duties. Sarah, a real estate agent, is asked by her client to keep certain information confidential during a property sale. What fiduciary duty is Sarah fulfilling by agreeing to this request? Is it A, loyalty, B, obedience, C, confidentiality, or D, disclosure? The answer is C, confidentiality. Sarah is fulfilling the duty of confidentiality, which requires agents to keep the principal's information private unless authorized to disclose it. Which type of agency relationship is created when a principal's actions lead a third party to believe an agent is authorized to act on their behalf? Is it A, express agency, B, implied agency, C, general agency, or D, apparent agency? The answer is D, apparent agency. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term implied agency might be confused with apparent agency, which is based on the principal's actions. Tom hires Lisa as his real estate agent to sell his house. Lisa finds a buyer but fails to disclose a known defect in the property. What fiduciary duty has Lisa breached? Is it A, loyalty, B, disclosure, C, care, or D, confidentiality? The answer is B, disclosure. Lisa has breached the duty of disclosure which requires agents to inform the principal and relevant parties of all material facts. Fiduciary duties and required disclosures. What is the primary duty of the fiduciary in a real estate transaction? Is it A, to act in the best interest of the client, B, to maximize their own commission, C, to disclose all personal financial interests, or D, to ensure the transaction closes quickly? The answer is A, to act in the best interest of the client. The primary duty of a fiduciary is to act in the best interest of their client, ensuring loyalty and care in all actions related to the transaction. A fiduciary must always disclose all known facts about a property. What does this include? Is it A, all personal opinions about the property, B, all historical data about the property, C, material facts affecting value or desirability, or D, all previous owners of the property? The answer is C, material facts affecting value or desirability. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. It suggests all known facts, but focuses on material facts affecting value or desirability, not every detail. During a property sale, Agent Lisa learns of a pending zoning change that could affect the property's value. What should she do? Is it A, keep the information confidential to protect the sale, B, disclose the zoning change to the buyer, C, inform only the seller about the zoning change, or D, wait until the sale is finalized to disclose? The answer is B, disclose the zoning change to the buyer. Lisa must disclose the zoning change as it is a material fact that could impact the property's value and the buyer's decision. What is a fiduciary's duty of loyalty? Is it A, to ensure the highest sale price, B, to provide the fastest service possible, C, to disclose all personal financial interests, or D, to act solely in the interest of the client? The answer is D, to act solely in the interest of the client. The duty of loyalty requires fiduciaries to act solely in the interest of their client, avoiding conflicts of interest. Agent Tom is representing a buyer and learns the seller is willing to accept a lower offer. What should Tom do? Is it A, inform the buyer of the seller's willingness, B, keep the information confidential to maintain trust with the seller, C, negotiate a higher commission with the seller, or D, ignore the information as it was not officially disclosed? The answer is A, inform the buyer of the seller's willingness. Tom should inform his client, the buyer, as it is in their best interest and part of his duty to disclose relevant information.
If you want more than just rapid-fire questions, head over to Birdsy.ai. You can take unlimited practice exams and get instant help from your personal AI study partner. It's like having a tutor 24/7. Try it free. You'll find a link in the description.
Agency agreements and representations. What is the primary purpose of an agency agreement in real estate? Is it A, to establish the legal relationship between agent and client, B, to determine the commission rate, C, to provide a marketing plan for the property, or D, to outline the property inspection process? The answer is A, to establish the legal relationship between agent and client. An agency agreement establishes the legal relationship between a real estate agent and their client, outlining the agent's duties and responsibilities. In a dual agency situation, what is the agent's primary duty? Is it A, to prioritize the seller's interests, B, to remain neutral and fair to both parties, C, to disclose confidential information to both parties, or D, to negotiate the best deal for the buyer? The answer is B, to remain neutral and fair to both parties. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Dual agency requires the agent to maintain neutrality and fairness, which can be confused with loyalty to one party. Sarah, a real estate agent, is representing both the buyer and seller in a transaction. What must she do to comply with California law? Is it A, disclose the dual agency verbally to both parties? B, prioritize the seller's interests over the buyer's? C, obtain written consent from both parties? Or D, negotiate separate agreements with each party? The answer is C, obtain written consent from both parties. Sarah must obtain written consent from both parties to act as a dual agent, ensuring transparency and compliance with legal requirements. Which of the following is a fiduciary duty of a real estate agent? Is it A, advertising, B, negotiating commission, C, scheduling inspections, or D, loyalty? The answer is D, loyalty. Loyalty is a fiduciary duty requiring agents to act in the best interest of their clients. Tom, a buyer's agent, learns confidential information about the seller's financial situation. What should he do with this information? Is it A, share it with his client to gain leverage, B, keep it confidential and not disclose it, C, use it to negotiate a better deal, or D, discuss it with other agents for advice? The answer is B, keep it confidential and not disclose it. Tom must maintain confidentiality and not disclose the seller's financial situation to his client, as it is not his information to share. California agency law and dual agency rules. What is the primary duty of a real estate agent under California agency law? Is it A, to maximize their commission, B, to act in the best interest of their client, C, to ensure a quick sale, or D, to follow the buyer's instructions? The answer is B, to act in the best interest of their client. The primary duty of a real estate agent under California agency law is to act in the best interest of their client, which is known as fiduciary duty. Under California law, can a real estate agent represent both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction? Is it A, yes, with full disclosure and consent from both parties? B, no, it is strictly prohibited. C, yes, but only if the agent reduces their commission. Or D, no, unless the agent is a broker? The answer is A, yes, with full disclosure and consent from both parties. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, dual agency is allowed in California, but it requires full disclosure and consent from both parties, which can be overlooked. A real estate agent, Lisa, is representing both the buyer and the seller in a transaction. What must Lisa do to comply with California's dual agency rules? Is it A, only disclose her dual agency role to the seller, B, reduce her commission to avoid conflict of interest, C, disclose her dual agency role and obtain written consent from both parties, or D, ensure the transaction closes quickly to minimize issues? The answer is C, disclose her dual agency role and obtain written consent from both parties. Lisa must disclose her dual agency role and obtain written consent from both parties to comply with California law. What document is typically used to establish an agency relationship in California real estate transactions? Is it A, purchase agreement, B, disclosure statement, C, title report, or D, listing agreement? The answer is D, listing agreement. The agency relationship is typically established through a listing agreement or buyer representation agreement. During a property sale, the buyer's agent discovers a conflict of interest. What should the agent do according to California agency law? Is it A, ignore the conflict to avoid complicating the transaction, B, disclose the conflict of interest to all parties involved, C, withdraw from representing the buyer immediately, or D, seek legal advice before taking any action? The answer is B. Disclose the conflict of interest to all parties involved. The agent must disclose the conflict of interest to all parties involved to maintain transparency and comply with fiduciary duties. Contracts. Which of the following is a necessary element for a contract to be legally enforceable? Is it A, a written document, B, consideration, C, a witness, or D, a notary public? The answer is B, consideration. A contract must have mutual consent, lawful object, consideration, and competent parties to be enforceable. Consideration is the exchange of value between parties. In contract law, which term refers to the mutual agreement and intent to be bound by the terms of a contract? Is it A, mutual consent, B, consideration, C, capacity, or D, legality? The answer is A, mutual consent. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, mutual consent and meeting of the minds are often used interchangeably, but mutual consent is the correct legal term. Alice agrees to sell her car to Bob for $5,000, but later decides to sell it to Charlie for $6,000. What element of the contract is Alice potentially violating? Is it A, consideration, B, capacity, C, mutual consent, or D, legality? The answer is C, mutual consent. Alice is potentially violating the element of mutual consent by not honoring her agreement with Bob. What classification of contract is formed when one party makes a promise in exchange for an act by another party? Is it A, bilateral contract, B, implied contract, C, express contract, or D, unilateral contract? The answer is D, unilateral contract. A unilateral contract involves one party making a promise in exchange for an act by another party. Tom offers to paint Jerry's house for $2,000, and Jerry accepts. Later, Tom realizes he underpriced the job and wants to charge $3,000. What contract element is Tom challenging? Is it A, mutual consent, B, consideration, C, capacity, or D, legality? The answer is B, consideration. Tom is challenging the element of consideration as he wants to change the agreed price after the contract was formed. Real estate purchase agreements. What is the primary purpose of a real estate purchase agreement? Is it A, to provide a warranty on the property, B, to outline the terms and conditions of the sale, C, to transfer ownership of the property, or D, to set the market value of the property? The answer is B, to outline the terms and conditions of the sale. A real estate purchase agreement primarily serves to outline the terms and conditions of the sale of a property between a buyer and a seller. In a real estate purchase agreement, who is typically responsible for paying the closing costs? Is it A, always the seller, B, always the buyer, C, typically the buyer but negotiable, or D, equally split between buyer and seller? The answer is C, typically the buyer but negotiable. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Closing costs can be negotiated, but traditionally, the buyer is responsible for most of them, though sellers may cover some costs as incentives. John and Mary are negotiating a real estate purchase agreement where John insists on a contingency for selling his current home first. What is this type of contingency called? Is it A, sale contingency, B, financing contingency, C, or D, appraisal contingency? The answer is A, sale contingency. This is a sale contingency which allows the buyer to back out if they cannot sell their current home. What is an earnest money deposit in a real estate transaction? Is it A, a fee paid to the real estate agent, B, a non-refundable payment to the seller, C, the down payment on the property, or D, a deposit to show the buyer's serious intent? The answer is D, a deposit to show the buyer's serious intent. An earnest money deposit is a payment made by the buyer to demonstrate their serious intent to purchase the property. Sarah is buying a house and wants to ensure that the seller completes certain repairs before closing. What should she include in the purchase agreement? Is it A, a financing contingency, B, a repair contingency, C, an appraisal contingency, or D, a title contingency? The answer is B, a repair contingency. Sarah should include a repair contingency, which requires the seller to complete specified repairs before the sale is finalized. Listing agreements and buyer representation agreements. What is the primary purpose of a listing agreement in real estate transactions? Is it A, to authorize the broker to market the property and find a buyer, B, to transfer ownership of the property to the broker, C, to set the final sale price of the property, or D, to provide a warranty on the property's condition? The answer is A, to authorize the broker to market the property and find a buyer. A listing agreement primarily establishes the broker's authority to act as the seller's agent in marketing the property and finding a buyer. In a buyer representation agreement, who is responsible for paying the broker's commission? Is it A, always the buyer, B, typically the seller, unless otherwise agreed, C, the broker themselves, or D, the lender financing the purchase? The answer is B, typically the seller, unless otherwise agreed. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the buyer representation agreement often specifies that the seller pays the commission, but this can vary based on the agreement's terms. John signs a listing agreement with a broker, but later decides to sell his house privately to a friend. What is the broker entitled to under an exclusive right to sell agreement? Is it A, nothing, since John found the buyer himself, B, only a partial commission, C, the full commission as agreed, or D, a refund of any marketing expenses? The answer is C, the full commission as agreed. In an exclusive right to sell agreement, the broker is entitled to a commission regardless of who finds the buyer. Which type of listing agreement allows a seller to sell their property without paying a commission if they find the buyer themselves? Is it A, exclusive right to sell, B, exclusive agency, C, net listing, or D, open listing? The answer is D, open listing. An open listing allows the seller to sell the property independently without owing a commission to the broker. Sarah, a buyer, signs a representation agreement with a broker, but later decides to purchase a property directly from a seller she met at an open house. What might Sarah owe the broker? Is it A, nothing as she found the property herself, B, a commission depending on the agreement terms, C, a referral fee to the seller, or D, only the broker's travel expenses? The answer is B, a commission depending on the agreement terms. If the agreement is exclusive, Sarah may owe the broker a commission even if she finds the property herself. Contract performance, breach, and remedies. What is the primary purpose of a remedy in contract law? Is it A, to compensate the injured party for losses due to a breach, B, to punish the breaching party, C, to ensure future compliance with contract terms, or D, to void the contract entirely? The answer is A, to compensate the injured party for losses due to a breach. The primary purpose of a remedy in contract law is to compensate the injured party for losses due to a breach, aiming to restore them to the position they would have been in had the contract been performed. In a contract dispute, what is the most common remedy awarded by courts? Is it A, specific performance, B, monetary damages, C, rescission, or D, injunction? The answer is B, monetary damages. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. While specific performance and rescission are possible remedies, courts most commonly award damages to compensate for losses which can be misunderstood as less common due to their less dramatic nature. Alice contracts with Bob to deliver 100 widgets by June 1st, but Bob delivers them on June 5th. What is Alice's most likely remedy? Is it A, specific performance to ensure future timely deliveries, B, rescission of the contract, C, damages for losses due to late delivery, or D, punitive damages against Bob? The answer is C, damages for losses due to late delivery. Alice's most likely remedy is to seek damages for any losses incurred due to the late delivery, as the breach was minor and the contract was substantially performed. John signs a contract to buy a car from Sarah, but Sarah sells it to someone else before John's payment. What remedy is John most likely entitled to? Is it A, specific performance to obtain the car, B, rescission of the contract, C, an injunction to prevent the sale, or D, damages for breach of contract? The answer is D, damages for breach of contract. John is most likely entitled to damages for breach of contract as Sarah's sale to another party constitutes a breach. Financing. What is the primary purpose of a conventional loan in real estate financing? Is it A, to provide government-backed insurance, B, to finance real estate purchases without government backing, C, to offer lower interest rates than FHA loans, or D, to assist first-time homebuyers with low down payments? The answer is B, to finance real estate purchases without government backing. Conventional loans are primarily used for purchasing real estate without government insurance or guarantees, relying on the borrower's creditworthiness. Which loan type typically requires private mortgage insurance when the down payment is less than 20%? Is it A, conventional loans, B, FHA loans, C, TA loans, or D, USDA loans? The answer is A, conventional loans. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. PMI is often associated with conventional loans, but some might confuse it with government-backed loans due to similar insurance concepts. Sarah is considering a loan that offers a fixed interest rate for the first 5 years, after which the rate may adjust annually. What type of loan is she likely considering? Is it A, fixed-rate mortgage, B, interest-only loan, C, adjustable-rate mortgage, or D, balloon mortgage? The answer is C, adjustable-rate mortgage. Sarah is likely considering an adjustable-rate mortgage, which typically starts with a fixed rate before adjusting periodically. What is a key feature of a VA loan? Is it A, requires a high credit score, B, offers adjustable interest rates only, C, requires private mortgage insurance, or D, no down payment required? The answer is D, no down payment required. VA loans are notable for not requiring a down payment, making them accessible to eligible veterans. John is a first-time homebuyer with a low credit score and limited funds for a down payment. Which loan type might best suit his needs? Is it A, conventional loan, B, FHA loan, C, VA loan, or D, jumbo loan? The answer is B, FHA loan. An FHA loan is often suitable for first-time buyers with lower credit scores and smaller down payments due to its flexible requirements. Government programs and regulatory framework. What is the primary purpose of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau? Is it A, to protect consumers by enforcing federal consumer financial laws? B, to regulate interest rates for all financial institutions? C, to provide loans directly to consumers? Or D, to manage the national budget? The answer is A, to protect consumers by enforcing federal consumer financial laws. The CFPB is designed to protect consumers by enforcing federal consumer financial laws and ensuring fair treatment in the financial marketplace. Under the SAFE Act, who is required to register with the nationwide multi-state licensing system? Is it A, all financial advisors? B, all bank employees? C, mortgage loan originators? Or D, real estate agents? The answer is C, mortgage loan originators. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the SAFE Act requires mortgage loan originators, not all financial professionals, to register with the NMLS. Sarah is a mortgage loan originator who has just changed employers. What must she do to comply with the SAFE Act? Is it A, nothing, as her registration is tied to her personal credentials? B, update her employment information in the NMLS? C, reapply for a new license? Or D, notify her previous employer only? The answer is B, update her employment information in the NMLS. Sarah must update her employment information in the NMLS to ensure compliance with the SAFE Act requirements. Which entity is responsible for enforcing the SAFE Act? Is it A, the Federal Reserve? B, the Department of Housing and Urban Development? C, the Federal Trade Commission? Or D, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau? The answer is D, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The SAFE Act is enforced by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which oversees compliance with federal consumer financial laws. John, a new mortgage loan originator, is unsure about his compliance requirements under the SAFE Act. What should he prioritize to ensure compliance? Is it A, registering with the NMLS? B, attending a financial literacy seminar? C, obtaining a real estate license? Or D, submitting a business plan to the CFPB? The answer is A, registering with the NMLS. John should prioritize registering with the NMLS, as this is a fundamental requirement for compliance under the SAFE Act. Mortgage markets and loan origination process. What is the primary purpose of the secondary mortgage market? Is it A, to originate new loans directly to borrowers? B, to provide liquidity to lenders by purchasing existing loans? C, to regulate interest rates on new mortgages? Or D, to ensure loans against default? The answer is B, to provide liquidity to lenders by purchasing existing loans. The secondary mortgage market exists to provide liquidity to lenders by allowing them to sell existing loans, freeing up capital to issue new loans. Which of the following is not a typical step in the loan origination process? Is it A, application? B, underwriting? C, approval? Or D, loan servicing? The answer is D, loan servicing. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the steps listed are all part of the process except for loan servicing, which occurs after origination. John is applying for a mortgage and is concerned about his credit score. What should he focus on to improve his chances of loan approval? Is it A, increasing his number of credit cards? B, closing old credit accounts? C, paying down existing debt? Or D, applying for multiple loans simultaneously? The answer is C, paying down existing debt. Improving his credit score by paying down existing debt can positively impact his loan approval chances. What is a conforming loan? Is it A, a loan that meets Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac guidelines? B, a loan that exceeds the maximum loan limit set by Fannie Mae? C, a loan guaranteed by the Federal Housing Administration? Or D, a loan with a fixed interest rate? The answer is A, a loan that meets Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac guidelines. A conforming loan meets the guidelines set by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, including loan limits and borrower criteria. Emily is deciding between a fixed-rate mortgage and an adjustable-rate mortgage. What should she consider if she plans to move in 5 years? Is it A, the stability of a fixed-rate mortgage? B, the lower initial rates of an adjustable-rate mortgage? C, the potential for rate increases in a fixed-rate mortgage? Or D, the refinancing options available with a fixed-rate mortgage? The answer is B, the lower initial rates of an adjustable-rate mortgage. An adjustable-rate mortgage might offer lower initial rates, which can be beneficial if she plans to move before rates adjust. Financing calculations and qualifying borrowers. What is the typical maximum debt-to-income ratio allowed for a conventional mortgage loan? Is it A, 28%, B, 36%, C, 43%, or D, 50%? The answer is B, 36%. The typical maximum debt-to-income ratio for a conventional mortgage loan is 36%. This ratio helps lenders assess a borrower's ability to manage monthly payments and repay debts. Which factor is not typically considered when calculating a borrower's ability to qualify for a mortgage? Is it A, income, B, credit score, C, debt, or D, borrower's age? The answer is D, borrower's age. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. All options seem relevant, but borrower's age is not directly considered in qualifying for a mortgage, unlike income, credit score, and debt. John is applying for a mortgage and has a monthly income of $5,000, with monthly debts totaling $1,500. What is his debt-to-income ratio? Is it A, 20%, B, 25%, C, 30%, or D, 35%? The answer is C, 30%. John's debt-to-income ratio is calculated by dividing his total monthly debts by his monthly income, resulting in 30%. Sarah is considering a loan with a 4% interest rate and a 30-year term. If she borrows $200,000, what will her monthly principal and interest payment be? Is it A, $954.83, B, $1,000, C, $850, or D, $1,200? The answer is A, $954.83. Using the standard mortgage formula, Sarah's monthly payment for a $200,000 loan at 4% interest over 30 years is approximately $954.83.
Did you get a different answer? Or maybe you have a question about the exam in general? Drop it in the comments below. We read and answer them personally.
Transfer of property. What is the primary purpose of a quitclaim deed in property transfer? Is it A, to guarantee a clear title, B, to transfer interest without warranties, C, to ensure the property is free of liens, or D, to provide a detailed property description? The answer is B, to transfer interest without warranties. A quitclaim deed is primarily used to transfer any interest the grantor may have in the property without any warranties or guarantees. Which type of deed provides the most protection to the buyer? Is it A, general warranty deed, B, special warranty deed, C, quitclaim deed, or D, bargain and sale deed? The answer is A, general warranty deed. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the term protection can be misleading as it refers to the warranties provided by the deed, not physical protection. John is selling his house to Mary and wants to ensure she receives a deed with the highest level of protection. Which deed should John use? Is it A, quitclaim deed, B, special warranty deed, C, general warranty deed, or D, bargain and sale deed? The answer is C, general warranty deed. A general warranty deed provides the highest level of protection with full warranties against any title defects. What is required for a deed to be considered valid? Is it A, a notary public's signature, B, a witness signature, C, the title insurance policy, or D, delivery and acceptance? The answer is D, delivery and acceptance. A valid deed requires a competent grantor, a grantee, a legal description of the property, and delivery and acceptance. Lisa wants to transfer her property to her brother without any warranties. Which type of deed should she use? Is it A, quitclaim deed, B, general warranty deed, C, special warranty deed, or D, bargain and sale deed? The answer is A, quitclaim deed. A quitclaim deed is appropriate for transferring property without any warranties, which suits Lisa's intention. Escrow, closing, and settlement procedures. What is the primary purpose of an escrow account in a real estate transaction? Is it A, to provide a loan to the buyer, B, to hold funds until transaction conditions are met, C, to determine the property's market value, or D, to negotiate the sale price between buyer and seller? The answer is B, to hold funds until transaction conditions are met. An escrow account is primarily used to hold funds or documents until the conditions of a real estate transaction are met, ensuring both parties fulfill their obligations. In a real estate transaction, who is responsible for ensuring that all conditions of the sale are met before closing? Is it A, the buyer, B, the seller, C, the escrow officer, or D, the real estate agent? The answer is C, the escrow officer. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, it's easy to assume the buyer or seller is responsible, but it's actually the escrow officer's role to ensure all conditions are met before closing. During a property closing, the buyer discovers a lien on the property that was not disclosed. What should the escrow officer do in this situation? Is it A, proceed with closing and address the lien later, B, ignore the lien as it is not their responsibility, C, advise the buyer to negotiate directly with the seller, or D, halt the closing process until the lien is resolved? The answer is D, halt the closing process until the lien is resolved. The escrow officer should halt the closing process until the lien issue is resolved, ensuring all parties are informed and the title is clear. What document is typically used to transfer ownership of real property? Is it A, deed, B, lease, C, mortgage, or D, title insurance? The answer is A, deed. A deed is the legal document used to transfer ownership of real property from one party to another. If a seller wants to ensure they receive payment before transferring the deed, what should be included in the escrow instructions? Is it A, the buyer must sign the deed first, B, payment must be received before deed transfer, C, the deed is transferred before payment, Or D, the escrow officer decides the order? The answer is B, payment must be received before deed transfer. The escrow instructions should specify that the deed will only be transferred once the seller receives payment, ensuring both parties' interests are protected. Title insurance and recording system. What is the primary purpose of title insurance in a real estate transaction? Is it A, to provide a loan to the buyer, B, to protect against title defects, C, to guarantee property value, or D, to ensure property taxes are paid? The answer is B, to protect against title defects. Title insurance protects against losses due to defects in the title that were not discovered before the transaction. It ensures the buyer has a clear title to the property. Which document is typically recorded to provide public notice of a real estate transaction? Is it A, deed, B, mortgage, C, title insurance policy, or D, purchase agreement? The answer is A, deed. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the deed is recorded to provide public notice, not the mortgage or title insurance policy, which are often confused with the deed. John is buying a house and discovers an old lien on the property after closing. What role does title insurance play in this situation? Is it A, it guarantees the removal of the lien, B, it provides legal representation to sue the seller, C, it covers financial loss from the lien, or D, it voids the purchase agreement? The answer is C, it covers financial loss from the lien. Title insurance protects John from financial loss due to undiscovered liens or title defects that existed before the policy was issued. Emily is selling her home and learns that a neighbor claims part of her driveway is on their property. How might title insurance assist her? Is it A, it will automatically resolve the boundary dispute, B, it may cover legal costs related to the dispute, C, it will increase the property's value, or D, it will nullify the neighbor's claim? The answer is B, it may cover legal costs related to the dispute. Title insurance can help Emily by covering legal costs or losses if the neighbor's claim is valid and affects her title. Taxation, property, transfer, and capital gains. What is the primary purpose of a 1031 exchange in real estate transactions? Is it A, to reduce property taxes permanently, B, to defer capital gains taxes, C, to eliminate the need for property insurance, or D, to increase the property's market value? The answer is B, to defer capital gains taxes. A 1031 exchange allows property owners to defer capital gains taxes by reinvesting proceeds from a sold property into a similar property. Which of the following is not considered a capital improvement for tax purposes? Is it A, adding a new roof, B, installing a new HVAC system, C, repainting the interior walls, or D, building an additional room? The answer is C, repainting the interior walls. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Capital improvements typically add value or prolong the life of a property, but not all repairs qualify. John sold his rental property and used the proceeds to purchase a similar property within 180 days. What tax benefit might he be eligible for? Is it A, deferral of capital gains taxes, B, exemption from property taxes, C, reduction in income tax rate, or D, immediate tax refund? The answer is A, deferral of capital gains taxes. John may qualify for a 1031 exchange, allowing him to defer capital gains taxes by reinvesting in a similar property. Sarah inherited a house from her aunt and sold it 6 months later at a profit. How is the gain from this sale typically taxed? Is it A, as ordinary income, B, as short-term capital gains, C, not taxed due to inheritance, or D, as long-term capital gains? The answer is D, as long-term capital gains. Inherited property gains are usually taxed as long-term capital gains, regardless of the holding period. Valuation and appraisal. What is the primary purpose of an appraisal in real estate? Is it A, to estimate the market value of a property, B, to determine the property's tax assessment, C, to set the listing price for a property, or D, to evaluate the condition of the property? The answer is A, to estimate the market value of a property. An appraisal is primarily used to estimate the market value of a property, which helps in making informed decisions in buying, selling, or financing real estate. Which factor is least likely to directly affect the market value of a property? Is it A, location, B, historical significance, C, condition of the property, or D, market trends? The answer is B, historical significance. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. While all options can influence value, the property's historical significance is often less direct unless it affects desirability or legal status. A homeowner is considering refinancing their mortgage and needs an appraisal. What aspect of the appraisal will most influence the lender's decision? Is it A, the homeowner's credit score, B, the property's age, C, the appraised value, or D, the neighborhood's crime rate? The answer is C, the appraised value. The lender is primarily interested in the appraised value to ensure the loan amount is justified by the property's current market value. What does the term highest and best use refer to in real estate appraisal? Is it A, the current use of the property, B, the use that generates the highest income, C, the use that requires the least investment, or D, the most profitable legal use of a property? The answer is D, the most profitable legal use of a property. The highest and best use is the most profitable legal use of a property, considering its potential and market demand. A buyer is interested in a property but is concerned about its market value due to recent neighborhood developments. What should the appraiser focus on to address these concerns? Is it A, the property's historical appreciation rate, B, recent comparable sales, C, the cost of recent developments, or D, the property's assessed tax value? The answer is B, recent comparable sales. The appraiser should focus on recent comparable sales to provide an accurate market value reflecting current neighborhood conditions. Approaches to value: cost, market, and income. Which approach to value is most commonly used for valuing single-family homes? Is it A, market approach, B, cost approach, C, income approach, or D, residual approach? The answer is A, market approach. The market approach, also known as the sales comparison approach, is most commonly used for valuing single-family homes because it relies on comparing similar properties that have recently sold. In the cost approach, which component is subtracted from the replacement cost to determine the value of a property? Is it A, land value, B, market adjustments, C, depreciation, or D, operating expenses? The answer is C, depreciation. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The term depreciation can be confused with other costs. Depreciation accounts for the loss in value due to wear and tear, age, or obsolescence. A real estate investor is evaluating a rental property using the income approach. What key figure should they calculate to determine the property's value? Is it A, replacement cost, B, capitalization rate, C. Sales comparison, or D. Depreciation value? The answer is B. Capitalization rate. The capitalization rate is crucial in the income approach as it helps determine the property's value based on its income potential. What is the primary purpose of the cost approach in real estate valuation? Is it A. to compare recent sales, B. to estimate future income, C. to assess market trends, or D. to determine replacement costs? The answer is D. to determine replacement cost. The cost approach estimates the value of a property by determining the cost to replace or reproduce it minus depreciation plus land value. A homeowner is trying to determine the value of their unique historic property. Which valuation approach is likely most appropriate? Is it A. market approach, B. income approach, C. cost approach, or D. residual approach? The answer is C. cost approach. The cost approach is often used for unique properties like historic homes, as it considers the cost to reproduce or replace the property. Competitive market analysis and broker price opinions. What is the primary purpose of a competitive market analysis? Is it A. to estimate the probable selling price of a property, B. to establish the tax value of a property, C. to determine the replacement cost of a property, or D. to appraise the investment potential of a property? The answer is A. to estimate the probable selling price of a property. A CMA is primarily used to estimate the probable selling price of a property by comparing it to similar properties that have recently sold in the area. In a broker price opinion, which factor is least likely to be considered? Is it A. current market trends, B. comparable property sales, C. owner's personal financial situation, or D. property condition? The answer is C. owner's personal financial situation. Why this question may seem a bit tricky: BPOs focus on market conditions and property specifics, but they do not typically consider the owner's personal financial situation. A real estate agent is preparing a CMA for a client selling a 3-bedroom home in a suburban neighborhood. Which factors should the agent prioritize to ensure an accurate analysis? Is it A. the original purchase price of the client's home, B. recent sales of similar properties in the area, C. the client's desired selling price, or D. the average listing price in the neighborhood? The answer is B. recent sales of similar properties in the area. Prioritizing recent sales of similar properties ensures the CMA reflects current market conditions and comparable property features. Which of the following is a key difference between a CMA and a formal appraisal? Is it A. a CMA is used for tax assessments, B. an appraisal considers only the property's interior, C. a CMA is legally binding, or D. an appraisal is conducted by a licensed appraiser? The answer is D. An appraisal is conducted by a licensed appraiser. A formal appraisal is conducted by a licensed appraiser and is more detailed, often required for lending purposes, unlike a CMA. A broker is asked to provide a BPO for a bank considering a foreclosure. What should the broker focus on to ensure the BPO is useful for the bank's decision-making? Is it A. the property's historical appreciation rate, B. the owner's outstanding mortgage balance, C. the property's current market value, or D. the neighborhood's future development plans? The answer is C. the property's current market value. Focusing on the property's current market value helps the bank understand potential recovery amounts from a foreclosure sale. USPAP and California appraisal standards. What is the primary purpose of the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice? Is it A, to establish ethical and performance standards for appraisers? B, to regulate the fees appraisers can charge? C, to provide marketing guidelines for appraisers? Or D, to certify appraisers in California? The answer is A, to establish ethical and performance standards for appraisers. USPAP provides ethical and performance standards for the appraisal profession, ensuring consistency and reliability in appraisals. Which of the following is not a requirement under USPAP for appraisers? Is it A, maintaining impartiality in appraisals? B, completing a specific number of continuing education hours annually? C, ensuring competency in the appraisal process? Or D, adhering to ethical standards? The answer is B, completing a specific number of continuing education hours annually. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. USPAP requires appraisers to be impartial and competent, but it does not mandate specific continuing education hours, which is often a state requirement. An appraiser in California is evaluating a property in a rapidly developing area. What must they consider according to USPAP standards? Is it A, the current market value only? B, the historical value of the property? C, the highest and best use of the property? Or D, the owner's intended use of the property? The answer is C, the highest and best use of the property. Appraisers must consider the highest and best use of the property, especially in areas undergoing significant change, to ensure accurate valuation. During an appraisal in California, an appraiser discovers a significant discrepancy in the property records. What should they do according to USPAP? Is it A, ignore the discrepancy if it does not affect the value? B, adjust the appraisal value to account for the discrepancy? C, consult with the property owner to resolve the discrepancy? Or D, report the discrepancy in the appraisal report? The answer is D, report the discrepancy in the appraisal report. USPAP requires appraisers to report any discrepancies found during the appraisal process to ensure transparency and accuracy. Real estate practice and disclosures. What is the primary purpose of the transfer disclosure statement in California real estate transactions? Is it A, to provide a detailed property appraisal? B, to disclose known property defects to potential buyers? C, to outline the terms of the mortgage agreement? Or D, to list the property's tax history? The answer is B, to disclose known property defects to potential buyers. The TDS is designed to inform buyers of any known issues with the property, ensuring transparency and protecting both parties from future disputes. Which of the following is not typically included in a natural hazard disclosure statement in California? Is it A, flood hazard zones? B, fire hazard severity zones? C, specific flood insurance requirements? Or D, earthquake fault zones? The answer is C, specific flood insurance requirements. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. The NHD includes various environmental risks, but not all potential hazards are covered. Earthquake fault zones are included, but not specific flood insurance requirements. John is selling his home in a Mello-Roos district and has received an offer. What must he disclose to the buyer regarding Mello-Roos? Is it A, the existence of Mello-Roos tax assessments? B, the history of property tax increases? C, the previous owner's payment history? Or D, the future development plans of the district? The answer is A, the existence of Mello-Roos tax assessments. Sellers must disclose the existence of Mello-Roos tax assessments, as they can significantly impact the cost of owning the property. What information must be provided in a California natural hazard disclosure statement? Is it A, the property's market value. B. The seller's personal opinion on the property's safety. C. The property's historical ownership. Or D. Information about flood, fire, and earthquake zones. The answer is D. Information about flood, fire, and earthquake zones. The NHD statement must include information about natural hazards such as flood, fire, and earthquake zones to inform buyers of potential risks. Sarah is buying a home and discovers it is in a high fire hazard severity zone. What should the seller have provided in the disclosures? Is it A. A detailed fire safety plan? B. A list of local fire department contacts? C. A natural hazard disclosure statement? Or D. A certificate of fire insurance? The answer is C. A natural hazard disclosure statement. The seller must provide a natural hazard disclosure statement, which includes information about high fire hazard severity zones. Fair housing laws and ethical standards. What is the primary purpose of the Fair Housing Act? Is it A. To prevent discrimination in housing based on protected characteristics? B. To regulate the pricing of real estate properties? C. To establish zoning laws for residential areas? Or D. To provide financial assistance for first-time homebuyers? The answer is A. To prevent discrimination in housing based on protected characteristics. The Fair Housing Act aims to eliminate discrimination in housing based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, or disability. Which of the following is not a protected class under the Federal Fair Housing Act? Is it A. Race? B. Disability? C. Age? Or D. Familial status? The answer is C. Age. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, age is often confused with other protected classes, but it is not covered under the Federal Fair Housing Act. A landlord refuses to rent an apartment to a family with children because they believe the building is unsafe for kids. What Fair Housing Act principle does this violate? Is it A. Discrimination based on race? B. Discrimination based on familial status? C. Discrimination based on national origin? Or D. Discrimination based on disability? The answer is B. Discrimination based on familial status. The Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination based on familial status, which includes families with children. Which agency is responsible for enforcing the Fair Housing Act? Is it A. Federal Trade Commission? B. Environmental Protection Agency? C. Department of Justice? Or D. Department of Housing and Urban Development? The answer is D. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development is tasked with enforcing the Fair Housing Act. A real estate agent shows homes only in certain neighborhoods to a client based on their ethnicity, believing they would feel more comfortable there. What ethical standard is being violated? Is it A. Steering? B. Blockbusting? C. Redlining? Or D. Puffing? The answer is A. Steering. Steering clients to certain neighborhoods based on ethnicity violates fair housing laws and ethical standards. Trust funds, record-keeping, and DRE compliance. What is the primary purpose of a trust fund in real estate transactions? Is it A. To increase the broker's investment portfolio? B. To pay for the broker's office expenses? C. To hold money on behalf of clients or third parties? Or D. To provide bonuses to real estate agents? The answer is C. To hold money on behalf of clients or third parties. Trust funds are used to hold money on behalf of clients or third parties, ensuring that these funds are not commingled with the broker's personal or business funds. Which of the following is a requirement for maintaining trust fund records? Is it A, a simple ledger with client names? B, detailed records of all transactions? C, monthly summaries of account balances? Or D, verbal agreements with clients? The answer is B, detailed records of all transactions. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, the requirement for maintaining trust fund records includes detailed and accurate documentation, not just a simple ledger or informal notes. A real estate broker receives a deposit check from a client for a property purchase. What should the broker do with the check to comply with trust fund regulations? Is it A, deposit it into a trust account within 3 business days? B, hold the check until the transaction closes? C, deposit it into the broker's personal account temporarily? Or D, return the check to the client for safekeeping? The answer is A, deposit it into a trust account within 3 business days. The broker must deposit the check into a trust account within 3 business days to comply with regulations and avoid commingling funds. What is the maximum time allowed for a broker to deposit trust funds into a trust account after receiving them? Is it A, 1 business day? B, 2 business days? C, 4 business days? Or D, 3 business days? The answer is D, 3 business days. Brokers must deposit trust funds into a trust account within 3 business days to comply with regulations and avoid commingling. An agent mistakenly deposits a client's trust funds into the office operating account. What is the best immediate action to rectify this error? Is it A, notify the client and wait for instructions? B, transfer the funds to the correct trust account immediately? C, leave the funds in the operating account until the transaction closes? Or D, report the error to the DRE and await further guidance? The answer is B, transfer the funds to the correct trust account immediately. The agent should immediately transfer the funds to the correct trust account to rectify the error and ensure compliance. Advertising, offers, and professional conduct. What must a real estate advertisement include to comply with California law? Is it A, the property's square footage? B, the broker's license number? C, the seller's contact information? Or D, the listing price? The answer is B, the broker's license number. Advertisements must include the broker's license number to ensure transparency and accountability in real estate transactions. In California, what is the primary purpose of a real estate agent's fiduciary duty? Is it A, to ensure all parties are treated equally? B, to maximize the agent's commission? C, to act in the best interest of the client? Or D, to disclose all offers to the client? The answer is C, to act in the best interest of the client. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Fiduciary duty involves loyalty and care, but the primary purpose is to act in the client's best interest, which encompasses these duties. A real estate agent, Sarah, receives multiple offers on a property she is listing. What is her obligation regarding these offers? Is it A, select the highest offer and present only that one? B, negotiate with the buyers before informing the seller? C, present only offers above the asking price? Or D, present all offers to the seller? The answer is D, present all offers to the seller. Sarah must present all offers to the seller to ensure they can make an informed decision, fulfilling her duty of disclosure. What is the primary goal of the National Association of Realtors Code of Ethics? Is it A, to promote professionalism and ethical conduct? B, to increase real estate sales? C, to regulate commission rates? Or D, to provide legal advice to clients? The answer is A, to promote professionalism and ethical conduct. The Code of Ethics aims to promote professionalism and ethical conduct among realtors, ensuring trust in the industry. John, a real estate agent, is asked by a buyer to recommend a home inspector. What should John do to maintain professional conduct? Is it A, recommend his brother, who is an inspector? B, provide a list of several inspectors? C, refuse to recommend anyone? Or D, recommend the inspector who offers a referral fee? The answer is B, provide a list of several inspectors. John should provide a list of several inspectors to avoid any conflict of interest and maintain impartiality. Specialty areas. Property management. What is the primary responsibility of a property manager? Is it A, maintaining and increasing the value of the property? B, only collecting rent from tenants? C, selling the property at the highest price? Or D, designing the property layout? The answer is A, maintaining and increasing the value of the property. The primary responsibility of a property manager is to maintain and increase the value of the property while ensuring tenant satisfaction and compliance with laws. Which of the following is not typically included in a property management agreement? Is it A, maintenance responsibilities? B, tenant personal information? C, management fees? Or D, rent collection procedures? The answer is B, tenant personal information. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. A property management agreement usually includes terms about maintenance, rent collection, and fees, but not tenant personal information, which is protected by privacy laws. A property manager notices a tenant consistently pays rent late. What is the best initial action to take? Is it A, immediately start eviction proceedings? B, ignore the issue and hope it resolves? C, communicate with the tenant to understand the issue? Or D, increase the tenant's rent as a penalty? The answer is C, communicate with the tenant to understand the issue. The best initial action is to communicate with the tenant to understand the reason for late payments and find a solution which can prevent future issues. What is a common misconception about the role of a property manager? Is it A, they only handle tenant complaints? B, they are responsible for property sales? C, they set property tax rates? Or D, they manage financial and legal aspects of the property? The answer is D, they manage financial and legal aspects of the property. Why this question may seem a bit tricky, many assume property managers only deal with tenant issues, but they also handle financial management, legal compliance, and property maintenance.
If you want more than just rapid-fire questions, head over to Birdsy.ai. You can take unlimited practice exams and get instant help from your personal AI study partner. It's like having a tutor 24/7. Try it free. You'll find a link in the description.
Commercial, industrial, and income properties. What is the primary purpose of a triple net lease in commercial real estate? Is it A, to shift property expenses to the tenant? B, to provide tenants with more flexible lease terms? C, to ensure the landlord covers all property expenses? Or D, to increase the property's market value? The answer is A, to shift property expenses to the tenant. A triple net lease requires the tenant to pay for property taxes, insurance, and maintenance, reducing the landlord's financial responsibilities. In a commercial lease, what is typically the tenant's responsibility under a gross lease? Is it A, property taxes? B, utilities? C, building insurance? Or D, maintenance of common areas? The answer is B, utilities. Why this question may seem a bit tricky. Gross leases often confuse tenants because they only cover rent, leaving other expenses like utilities to the tenant. A property manager is negotiating a lease for a new tenant in an industrial park. The tenant wants to ensure they can expand their space in the future. What clause should be included in the lease to address this? Is it A, right of first refusal, B, sublease clause, C, expansion option clause, or D, termination clause? The answer is C, expansion option clause. An expansion option clause allows the tenant to increase their leased space under specified conditions, providing future flexibility. During a property tour, a potential investor asks about the capitalization rate of a commercial property. What does the capitalization rate represent? Is it A, the total annual expenses of the property, B, the property's appreciation rate over time, C, the gross rental income of the property, or D, the potential return on investment? The answer is D, the potential return on investment. The capitalization rate is a measure of the property's potential return on investment, calculated as the net operating income divided by the property's current market value. Subdivisions and new construction. What is the primary purpose of a subdivision map in the context of new construction? Is it A, to provide a detailed architectural design of homes, B, to list the financial costs associated with development, C, to outline the division of land into smaller lots, or D, to establish the environmental impact of the development? The answer is C, to outline the division of land into smaller lots. A subdivision map is primarily used to outline the division of a larger parcel of land into smaller lots, ensuring compliance with local zoning and planning regulations. A developer is planning a new residential community and needs to ensure compliance with local zoning laws. What document should they primarily consult to verify the allowable land use? Is it A, the Building Code Manual, B, the Zoning Ordinance, C, the Environmental Impact Report, or D, the Subdivision Map? The answer is B, the Zoning Ordinance. Zoning ordinances are the primary documents that outline allowable land uses, ensuring the developer's plans align with local regulations.
Thanks for watching. If you found this exam review helpful, be sure to subscribe for more real-world practice and topic-focused study videos. And visit Birdsy.ai to start your free trial of Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.